Let us not dawdle, for there are grudges to settle, and new entries in the Dammer's Cron to right!
Howdy howdy, Devil here, and welcome to another training match with my coach, Orcabos, where I'll be playing the Dwarfs, and he was playing Chaos. So, this is my regular Chaos build. This was the second game that Orcabos and I played. This was before any of our training took place. We played some games so he could sort of evaluate my playing strength and look at my strengths and weaknesses and where he wanted to go with my coaching. So this is my latest Chaos army. We have one gyrocopter, and that's really to get early shots, to kind of get harassed and get moving. I do have one unit of miners out front, really just to slow things down, or you know, prepare for my really heavy hitting front line of hammers to go. These hammers, I have 3 units of hammers. They all have 1 chevron, so it's kind of like a free chevron trick, so they can get extra stats. I do have 2 more miners on my side, and I do have 2 dwarf warriors in the back, and that's really to try and defend against you know, marauder horsemen or things like that. For my range department, I do have 2 quarrelers with great weapons, and they both have a chevron. Again, these are for marauder horsemen, for the doggos, putting pressure on things, and they do all right. They don't do great in melee. They don't have the greatest stats, but they seem to be a little bit more robust in melee and do a little more damage. And I do have also Grombrindle the White Dwarf. With him, I actually have the Flash Bomb for minus 76% charge speed and minus 76% speed, minus 27 melee defense, and that's so I can catch big stuff like Sathoril or Kolek and try and tie it down. Of course, he does have Grombrindle has no fear for the map-wide unbreakable for 32 seconds, and he has the Room Helm of Zufbar for plus 12 leadership within 40 meters. I don't know if it's the greatest ability, but I think I just had an even spend there. And then I have 2 cannons. And with those cannons, I have 2 longbeards with great weapons to help protect them. So for my coach's army, I think he has 6 Chaos Warriors with great weapons. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Chaos Marauders, he has a couple of those. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he has 2 Marauders with great weapons, and he has 1 Chosen with great weapons, or maybe 2. Let me see. I thought he had 2 for some reason. No, maybe just 1. Anyways, yeah, he has a Sathoril up front, and Sathoril, of course, has very high resistances. He has 60% missile resist, 25% magic resist. He does cause fear and terror, and he has Plague of Rust for the minus 30 armor. He is unbreakable. He also has Transmutation of Lead, minus 26 melee attack, minus 25% weapon damage, Arcane Conduit, and Stand or Die. Does not have Final Transmutation, which is a very common pick in this. He has 2 Marauder Horsemen, not with the throwing axes, just with the regular, you know, they don't do a whole lot of armor piercing, I think. What do they got? 7 armor piercing, not awful, but they don't have too much. And 2 Gorbeast Chariots. And Gorbeast Chariots are deadly. So, again, this is before I did any of my training, so I just really want to start engaging his army right away. So I'm going to send my gyrocopter up. I just want to push it up, and then I said, oh, there's that Gorbeast Chariot, so I'm going to go and I'm going to start hitting that right away. He's going to be in range of my cannons. I do get a shot on the Chaos Warriors with great weapons. I am going to start looking for a target, kind of kicking around there. I do want to get some shots, and then I see his Chosen with great weapons. So boom, I'm going to get everything focused on those Chosen, because that's really the most difficult unit to take down. And what is he going to cast on me? Plague of Rust. He's going to try and come and get me with those Marauder Horsemen. I think they're pretty fast, 90 speed, but I'm a little faster. I think at 105 speed. He'll get a few shots in, but the cannon shots are going in. We've already got them down to 49 models. Hopefully we get a 2-for-1 here. Oh, just about, but we didn't. So we'll get those shots going off, really. Just looking to find a good place for Marauders. Now I want to get my quarters in there for the Marauder Horseman. Now he sees that and he's going to run away. You know, I want to keep shooting at his Chosen with great weapons, and I'm just pulling back my miners. I don't need to engage with them. So he's running away, so I'm pulling back in with my units, and I'm getting ready for the actual charge. So here I'm going to go charge and charge and charge, and he's going to come in. I'm going to try and get Grombrindle to come and actually focus in and tie down Sathoril. And we still got all of our shots going in on those chosen. They are down to 40 models, getting very near half health. I do have some shots going in there. Now I have my gyrocopter going after this Gorbeat chariot way out here. And he is actually coming with his Marauder Horseman. He's trying to come very, very wide, but we've already got a good engagement going in the front. These hammers are beating down the Chaos Marauders. These hammers are fighting these Chaos Warriors, and these Chaos Marauders are almost gone already. So I am sending these Longbeards with great weapons and these Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. He's got some stuff coming on this side, and this chariot's going to be here very, very soon. So I don't really have much defense against these Chaos Warriors, but we're going to do what we can. So in he comes with Sithoril. I am trying to chase him down. He's got Arcane Conduit going. I am trying to collapse on him. He's very, very hard to chase down. You see, he just takes the Gorbeat's chariot right through my Dwarf Warriors, right to my cannons. So I'm going to try and collapse in on him. Now my hammers are done here, so I'm going to try and collapse in around this area. These hammers are ready to go back. These reminders can actually go out front and just take that long position there. And I am going to try and chase down Sithoril. I still have my Dwarf Warriors. Now this isn't the best matchup to go against these Chaos Warriors, but it is what it is. I got to do something. These Dwarf Warriors are going to do okay. These Chosen are going to crush them even though they're really, really low. Doesn't matter. I've got my cannons shooting up against these Marauder Horsemen. They're going to come and charge against the Quarters with great weapons, and I'm just fine with that. The Quarters with great weapons, we know they just seem to stand up fairly good, and I'm going to shoot them back. I just want to keep on shooting them and to get them out of my hair. I've got my gyrocopter shooting in to try and help my Dwarf Warriors on this side, and now he's still coming around with the Chaos Warriors grab, and he's going to make it. I've just run out of troops. I'm really trying to collapse in on here and finish off the Chaos Warriors with great weapons, get my hammers over here. He does cost, what is it, Transmutation of Lead. I don't know if he's actually got a cast yet. There you go, Transmutation of Lead, minus 26 melee attack. So I'm kind of collapsing in on here. And I have been able to take out these guys, the Chaos Warriors, great weapons over here, and now my Dwarf Warriors are getting beat down. I am trying to shoot at his other Marauder Horsemen, and I can bring my hammers sort of back into the fight. The cannons are still online, believe it or not. They're going to be offline very soon. These Chaos Warriors, great weapons are coming. I don't know if I'm going in for a bombing run. I had taken my cannons offline, and I'm trying to get them moving. Yeah, I'm going to go for a bombing run to try and get them going. In come the Horsemen. And I've got a lot of units in this place, and he's actually doing a really good job with the Transmutation of Lead. I'm trying to bring them out and unsort myself right now, but he's really, really cleared out my whole right side and my rear flank. And this part I do have some units, but they're way too clumped. So he's kind of pushing some units back in, and he's really into my cannons. And I'm trying to get Grombrindle up and over there, and he's got some shots coming in with the Marauder Horsemen. I do have my gyrocopter there. It's got Plague of Rust, and he's trying to get in my gyrocopter again. I've got my gyrocopter going after these Chaos Warriors. I do want to try and at least reduce the impact they're going to have on my cannons. I am fighting over here, but I really don't have everything on good units. He has his Gorbeast chariots on the Quarters, which isn't the greatest. I have miners on the Gorbeast. That's what I do want to slow them down. And I have the Longbeards with great weapons. I want them on the Gorbeast chariots as well, because they're sort of my anti-large contingent. But I have pushed off these Chaos Warriors. I don't have to come back in. My gyrocopter is sort of getting beat down, so I'm just going to push it through to get away. So I'll pull his Marauder, and I can actually start fighting him. He has been relentless going after my cannons. I have tried to pull them away. I do have hammers here. My cannons are on this side. Now in come the Gorbeast chariots on this side. I have some units routing. I have some units of Dwarf Warriors out here. But I am going to come back and start to shoot at that Gorbeast chariot with my gyrocopter and get some shots. He's trying to bring his Marauder Horsemen in onto the cannon, which is probably a good for him, and just to get some more shots on them. He has the Chaos Warriors great weapons on Grombrindle. That is not a good fight for Grombrindle. I mean, he'll do okay, but you never want your Lord in a melee fight. So I got some shots going off on these Chaos Warriors, and do I have some units coming back? No, I have not. I have not noticed these yet. I'm really fighting in the paint here, trying to resort myself and get after these Gorbeast chariots. They're just doing a big number. So I got the Longbeards with great weapons. That's exactly who I want. So I put Grombrindle on, has no fear, because I want everyone to keep fighting here. I do not want anyone to break. I want them to keep fighting right where they are, to fight right to the death. These guys have 10 units left. They're going to keep fighting, and that lasts for only 32 seconds. And I'm going after the chariots. I'm trying to get them down, but you can see he's just doing a good job of keeping them moving back and forth and through in my lines. And I haven't been able to pin them down long enough. Like this, I have pushed off a few of these units. You can see he's got some units coming back and routing, and I have units coming back from routing, but I just haven't been able to push back enough. I have my cannons over here, I really need to clear out these guys that I can't actually get to my cannons because my cannons are right here. So I am trying to clear them out with these hammers and with Grombrindle himself. And I got Dwarf Warriors against the Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons. Not a good matchup for me. I am coming in with these Dwarf Warriors, but again, Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons are going to do the job there. They're pound for pound the best armor-piercing infantry in the game. And I am trying to use Grombrindle to get rid of that, and he's come back again with the Marauder Horseman. I think he's going to go after my Gyrocopter. My Gyrocopter is almost out of ammo. It really has used most of its ammo. And in come some more shots. So these quarters are back and shooting at these Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons. That's a good target. I'm hitting him from the side. I'm sure he's going to see that fast because, well, it's not really going to matter. Everything is starting to rout here, and I think that is going to be the game. So, whew, played hard in there. And, you know, I did have a chat with Rook Boss after, and he felt like you know, obviously I wasn't able to get the Chariots and Sathoril. I really tried to focus down the Chosen with Great Weapons, and you know, the Marauders. You know, I was able to avoid them for the most part, but you know, I had Grombrindle, 34 kills. I'll go over the kills and then go over what the kind of conversation with the Roker Boss was. Again, just a training match, just to see my playing strength and talk about the matchup, etc. But Grombrindle had 34 kills. You know, I never did trap Sathoril. I just couldn't pin him down, and Sathoril is really, really hard. Like, he is definitely the best lord against the Dowie for sure. He is so hard to pin down, and he does so much, and has good spells and everything else like that. 4, 1, and 2 for the Miners. The Miners are just there to get in the way of the Chariots. They did some damage to the Chariots, but just not enough. 3 and 1 for the Dwarf Warriors, again, just to get in the way, more to get in the way from Marauder Horsemen and the doggos, you know, like the Warhounds and the Poison Warhounds. But he didn't have those, obviously. I do have the Longbeards with Great Weapon 7 and 14, and this is what really good players do. He just kept his Gorby's Chariots moving. I could not pin them down long enough to get the damage. I mean, I got 132, 59, 118 with hammers. They all got a free chevron. They did what they were supposed to do in that front line. You know, pounded down some Chaos Warriors, pounded down the Chaos Marauders, which wasn't the best target, but you know, they did okay. I'll say. The Quarrel's Great Weapons, 16 and 10. Gyrocopter did great, 45 kills, and pretty disruptive, I think. And I got on some of the targets I wanted to. He had Marauder Horseman dedicated pretty much the whole time to try and take out my Gyrocopter, and you know, so I think I won that battle. He had 15 kills with the Marauder Horseman. I had 45 kills with my Gyrocopter, and it was still flying around at the end. 34 and 28 with the cannons. You know, I don't know. I've been thinking of going down to 1 cannon because I think one cannon can take out 2, may be able to take out 2 Hell Cannons. I don't know. 2 cannons for sure can. So I just like, do I need to be ready for Hell Cannons? I don't know. With an extra sort of Longbeard with Great Weapons and 1 less cannon to protect, this might be an easier build to wield. But I always got to think like I'm not playing against someone who is my skill level. Like a Worker Boss he spent a lot of time at number 1 on ladder in game 1. He's one of the best players on the planet. I always got to think about that. So you know, he did actually you know, say he felt pushed in some ways during the fight. So he complimented the build, which actually I felt, you know, good because I'd just been crushed by him in the Bretonia game. So I thought I played a little bit better, but I mean, obviously he's got really good build and amazing skills. So Sathoril 41. Now I didn't do too bad. So I was trying to pin Sathoril down, and Aurora Boss, to be fair, was trying to keep him moving. Now if you look at the last game I had against Sathoril, I think Sathoril got 135 kills, but I was able to actually kill him. Now Sathoril in this case had more than half health left. He was in really good shape, but he didn't get as many kills. 35 and 17 with the Chaos Marauders with Great Weapons is actually pretty good. 18, 71, 38, 83, and 109 with the Chaos Warriors with the Great Weapons. That's what you're going to see. Pound for pound, the most cost-effective, you know, armor-piercing infantry in the game. 87 with the Chosen with Great Weapons. I think that was I controlled them quite well. I know 87 kills still seem like a lot, but they could have easily in this matchup had 150. And here's where really I just could not manage, and that is against the Gorby's Chariots. You know, 100 and 118, and they They had plenty of health, all their models, I think. You know, I just did not have enough oomph to get them. You know, maybe I need some Trollhammer torpedoes in this. You know, I could trade a cannon for a Trollhammer torpedo. You know, that might be good. You know, try to field a couple of Trollhammer torpedoes. I could take 2 cannons and put 2 Trollhammer torpedoes. That might make the build overall better. Even against Hell Cannons, I might do okay. I might still be able to win that because Hell Cannons are pretty expensive and they do magic damage. But I would really have a complete answer to Gorby's Chariots. Like the answer to Chariots are actually a Rune of Wrath and Rune. So 2 of them and 2 Trollhammers, and that's the answer. You know, Gorby's Chariot dead. But I'm playing Grombrindle in this build, not because he's the best, but because I want to have different Dwarf Lords for my different builds, so I can always feature different Dwarf Lords and different ideas. And this is the build that I have with the cannon. So, you know, maybe I should have instead of focused on the Chosen, should have focused on the Gorby's Chariot. You know, but then I would have actually done good against the Gorby's Chariot, and this Chosen would have had 200 kills. So I don't know. It's hard to say what the right thing to do is, and that might have been the right thing to do because these Gorbies were so disruptive. But so was Sithoril. Sithoril really disruptive in the back line too. Like Chaos does have an answer for the Dawi. They are one of the hard counters for the Dwarfs, and this is why. Right? Because they can bring Sithoril, who can absolutely has the right spells to debuff your army or make them weak, and they have 2, like Gorby's Chariots are really powerful. They have cheap chariots that are still good, and they can deal with gyrocopters. Like Marauder Horsemen, I think you need the throwing axe version to really deal with gyrocopters, and then on top of everything, they have outstanding infantry like the Warriors of Chaos with great weapons. So, you know, not that I couldn't have won this had I had a bit of a different build or maybe played better, but you know, when you're playing against a hard counter, you really do have to play to your best. Now I haven't changed my Chaos build yet. You know, this is sort of pretty much it's pretty much a perfect anti-dwarf build, if I'm honest. You know, but where was I focusing? Maybe I should have focused my Quarrelers on the Chaos Marauders with great weapons. I would have got a lot of you know, that would have been very effective to get rid of them, and then they wouldn't even have fought my hammers. You know, I had 2 hammers left to really focus on getting out the Chaos Warriors. You know, maybe I should have focused again on the Gorbies. I think a cannon, you know, a couple cannon shots can kill a model, and that's one of the things that once you start killing models, that really does make a difference. You know, maybe I kill one of those models before they even, maybe I kill off one of those Gorby's Chariots before they even engage with my line, and then I really try to slow these Chosen down, or try and do something, you know, engage the Chosen to slow them down, maybe with a group of Miners or something like that, and then a group of Dwarf Warriors, and then a group of Longbeards, and then once I've got his mobility down, I can focus on them. But I'm still not going to be able to get Sithoril. Like, Sithoril is always alive at the end when you play him, even if you focus him. He is really hard to kill, and because he's so jinky, and he does avoid your missiles and stuff like that. So anyways, it was a interesting game, and I was actually, after, you know, after the very first game I played with the Rook Boss in that Bretonnian game, I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? Because it was like, it is so crushing when you're demolished, right? I felt like I played a lot better in this build, and he said too. He said, you know, he said he had actually had to play a little harder in this game than he did in the Bretonnian game. So I was really quite happy about that. And you know, again, we did talk about a few things here and there, and what I saw and what I didn't see, and what I focused on. He started asking me what I was thinking or what I was planning. You know, really, I think he was at this time already developing sort of this idea, how to identify the army, you know, what did I see, and those types of things. So I think this game really started to cement in Rookabos's mind what he needed to work on with me in our coaching sessions that were going to come. So I would absolutely love to hear from you. You know, if you've watched the channel, you've seen my Chaos build before in action, and really, if you play Chaos, you know, This is probably the best build you're going to see. I know it was really, really difficult to deal with. I mean, you might be able to say you could bring some doggos or you can bring Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, but I'm telling you, that is a lot for the Dowie to deal with. There's so much there; it's overwhelming to play against. But you know, maybe and a worker boss will tell you, he can always improve, and so he's always looking to improve his armies as well. So love to hear from you on the builds, on the play, on things that you noticed. One of the things that I've had, this actually took place a long time ago before any of the training took place, but one of the things I really, really enjoyed during the live cast was getting a lot of good feedback, and lots of people just being supportive too. And so this is sort of seeing me play. This was me at my best. Like, I could not, at the time, I could not play better than I did play. Like internally, my internal capability. This was me, and I left that game, even though I lost, feeling like I played pretty good for my capability. So you can kind of compare that to some of the later games where I played actually substantially better, and was able to really, the difference being that I was really setting better goals and pushing to achieve them and not getting as wound up. You saw on that front, I really got all my troops sort of wound up, and I over-chased with frickin' Sithoril. I don't know why. I'm not going to kill him. Really, what I should have, I just go back, I shouldn't have focused on him at all. Should have tried to get the damn chariots, and then the chariots and the chosen. I think that's what I think. But anyways, whatever I think, I want to know what you think. So, please leave a comment, or even if you're just saying hi, I really do appreciate it. And with that said, I hope you found this game interesting, and I'll see you soon.